I am Maria Garcia de Fleury. There are many definitions of joy, but they're all fleeting. Laughing, singing, dancing, having a blast. For Jesus, joy is having one's name written in heaven. And how does that translate today, more than 20 centuries after Christ? In Jesus' time, that translated to 72 people going along the roads talking about Christ. It's curious that 72 people went out two by two to talk about the kingdom of God. It takes morality, a lot of morality, to go out there from town to town to talk about an almost unknown man named Jesus who speaks of love, peace, and forgiveness. It takes courage when the very one who sends you warns you that you're going to encounter many difficulties. It certainly wasn't easy. Those were difficult times. We too are living in difficult times. In truth, there have been a few easy times in the church. So difficulty is no excuse for living joy and for doing what the Lord commands us. For us, what should joy be? What St. Paul was very clear about was that no one loves as much as he who lays down his life for those who he loves. How can we not surrender to a manifestation like Jesus' death on the cross for us? If there is anything about which we can feel joyful, rejoicing, is not that we are loved to such an extent. That is the most consistent foundation that can give firmness to our lives. And there is nothing that awakens the capacity for response as much as the experience of that love. St. Paul, contemplating how the Lord had devoted himself to him, was born within him an unsuspected energy to give himself to others, to dedicate himself to the mission, and to endure the sufferings that this gift of self and dedication to the mission entails. To share in true love, we must realize that evangelizing is not just the task of a few. The entire community, each and every one of us, is called to proclaim Christ. All times are difficult. There are no easy or difficult times. We must live our time based on our circumstances and conditions. Every Christian, every follower of Christ is called to proclaim the kingdom of God. With Jesus, there are no excuses. Do you think a catechist diploma is necessary? Ha! Well, none of the 72 had a catechist diploma, and Jesus himself had no higher education in catechetical ministry. What he had was a great deal of love. To be a missionary, what is most needed is love. Love understood as seeking the good of others, even at the cost of my own good. Love understood as bringing other people closer to God. If you love, you come out of yourself. And if you're able to share, even with just one person in some way, you have begun to go throughout the world, proclaiming the kingdom of God. And if you are able to go out and meet an enemy, you have reached the summit of the Christian life. Jesus sent 12 on a mission, then 72. And before his ascension into heaven, he sent us all nations to make disciples of him and teach them everything he had commanded us. Jesus' goal in sending us is to want to change the world, to improve it, to convert it. Thus, our name will also be written in heaven. Thus, we too will be joyful because we're doing what God asks, and with God, we always win.